Welcome to a Monday morning show, episode 72 of the show, in which I sit down and look at my week, see what's there for me, what challenges, things I want to work on, things I want to improve, things I want to eat, and then I share it with you in hopes that we all can find connection in our mutual paths forward. I had a mixed week last week. In some senses, I had a great week. Birthday week. The week ended on the birthday of the wonderful Taffeta Darling, and we had a good karaoke night. I didn't sing. You know I don't sing. And it was fun to celebrate a person deserving so much celebration. So that was definitely a highlight. We did some other things during the week. And it's a birthday month, really. We're still going to celebrate. So that was good. Also had a trying week with a lot of things going on in my life, but a lot of things going on in the lives of people around me, people that I'm connected to or care for or work with, all those things. And I felt a little bit of the weight earlier in the week, but I'm in a good spot with it now. And I think it's okay to admit that when you try to be there for people, and someone like me who does try to show up for people in any way possible, sometimes it's not even that it was too heavy or just like, oh, I need a breath. It was just like, we do have energies, and when you're being present for folks or trying to carry some of that or just trying to help people through things, which I think you should do. I don't think you should stop doing that. It can dysregulate you a little bit, and that's okay. So I'm admitting that there. Also had, I won't go, no need for details. It's also a long story of over 25 years. A friend of mine of over 25 years, and we have, officially kind of, I guess you could say, parted ways, and brought to a close what was a beautiful friendship for a long time. And that was both tough and relieving. And I think it's okay to admit that too. But that's been on my mind too as well. And I'd love to spin that out into lessons, but I'm trying to be respectful of 25 plus years of someone who's meant the world to me, or at some point meant the world to me. A lot changed for me in 2020, the way I viewed the world, which had been changing quite frankly since I got to LA. But by 2020, with the height of COVID and Trump won and everything, it was no longer just changing who I voted for. It was changing how I look at the world, how I talk about the world, and who I want to surround myself with. And maybe we don't agree on everything, but how do you fight for those out there in the world that maybe aren't in your position? Was big for me, and that kind of caught this friendship a little bit underfoot. And when my life collapsed, I thought maybe this and other friendships, it would be wise to kind of take a stock of where I was when my life collapsed in early 2025, job loss, relationship loss, the unsteady footing of my life, where I live, where I'm going to live, or what I'm going to do, all that stuff that really, when it first happened, I did seek out some older friends and felt like I wanted to hopefully do right by them, because I felt I had made some harsh and severe severances of friendships and distanced myself in ways that were unclear to them and not understood to them. So I tried to fix that. You can't always fix that. You have to own that. You have to own what you did. And I was trying to do that, but it was also following myself. And it's been interesting to learn. There was about 4 or 5 of those kind of friendships of varying degrees, varying lengths, that I just kind of had not been in contact with for a while. And it's kind of interesting that it's almost like a 500 batting average. A couple of them started up again, but then you realize it's probably not going to continue. And then some have rekindled in different ways. They're all affected. They're all not the same. You kind of can't go back again. You must move forward and find yourself again. I think that's probably true for relationships of any kind, but friendship ones as well. And there is a hard truth, and it's a concept I've shared and said before here, but there is a hard truth that I think you have to face, and I think I fail to face it sometimes. I have definitely failed to face it, because it's not necessarily about one person being right or one person being wrong. It's just a reality. I have found that sometimes when you find that the only thing you have in common with someone who was maybe someone you love, and I'm not just saying romantically, just overall relationship, but someone you're connected to, someone you love, someone that provided for you, someone that you try to be there for, that, whatever it was, whatever the connection was, when you find out that the only thing you have in common is your past and nothing going forward, that's hard for me to face. I'm working on facing that better, I guess. It's just part of life. There's eras of friendships. I think there's those think pieces that are out there, or threads on threads of like every 10 years you'll find yourself with new friends, whatever it might be. That's not always the case, and that can be normal. It can just happen, and it can be painful. And this one has been more painful for them over the last few years than me, but that was also weighing on me as well. So that is my week, and that's what I'm leaving. The ability to say goodbye, the ability to say this is as best you can with much love and respect. Say, this is healthy for you, because the person instigated it with me. This is healthy for you, and it's going to be healthy for me because my kind of distance that was handled wrong was probably healthy for me in a way I thought I could overcome, that maybe I was fighting against. So that's in my rearview mirror, which means I'm looking ahead to this week. And, there's a lot I want to accomplish this week. And some of that might be trying the Del Taco Burger Taco and maybe doing a food review. I keep thinking about it. And when I think about pulling the trigger, maybe swiping a credit card to get that Del Taco Taco, the Burger Taco, I think of two things. The heartburn that will probably happen. And two, does anyone really want to see that? Is that really what I want to spend my hard-earned cash on right now? So I don't know. Comment down below. We'll do some engagement if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening, send me a letter. Put postage stamp on it and file that thing in the mail. Should I review the Del Taco Burger Taco? Should I brave the heartburn? I may have just asked for something that I must now live up to. The other thing is just a simple lesson for this week. And I've talked about this before in other ways. And I'll admit that the Monday morning show is often processing things that we're continuing to work on. And sometimes with my ADHD uncle at a party brain, I might cover similar topics or similar things. That's part of it. It's part of it. You do it till it hits. You do it till it sinks. And the challenges never end. So in the past, I've talked about things like Be Here Now, not just the Oasis album from the late 90s, the third one, which I actually like. It's cocaine fueled. It's addled by drugs. But yes, I actually like Be Here Now. Not that. I'm talking about the idea of being present, being where you are. Both feet on the ground is something I've said before and believe in. There's a lot of ways to wrap your brain around it. For me, the struggle is, now, opening the playbook a little bit here. Again, as I said, I've been in a struggle to find out who I am, to find out what I want to do and who I want to be. I've been on that journey, I think, the whole life, right? But really from like 2018 on, especially from about 22 on, where I was in ruts and I couldn't get breakthroughs, and my industry was changing, and so there wasn't jobs for me to get hired to. I had to do a lot of things on my own, and it's been a struggle. And you take the cash advance on your credit card and you try to that's what I'm going to be. I'm going to do that in 2019. That might have been dumb. A lot of things that have been on my mind and in my shows and on my programming here. 3 years ago, it really hit a point where, if you remember an early blathering, I just kind of lost it on air. In a nervous breakdown-y type of way, and people rallied around. Some friends did try to rally around, and some did, and I kind of recovered, and then I had a job again, and things were good, and I think I believed it. And I think the reason I believed it is at the end of 2024, I bought myself a new iPhone. I needed that. I needed that new iPhone, so I can pay that off. That's good. I got a job now. And then a couple weeks into 2025, that job goes. I should have learned the lesson. Never trust it. Never trust it. Maybe I took that lesson too deep. maybe I took that cynicism and just poured it to my veins where it started to rot out what was already rotted. My ability to be here now, to be present and find myself in the moment and enjoy it. I've been in panic for most of the last 2 years. And the last half year, going into the end of 25, into now here in 26, I've been in a better spot because I've been in therapy. I've been addressing things. I've been working. I've got notes on what, where's my notes? Yeah, here's my notes. I bring those out every week. I got notes from therapy sessions on assignments and things to do, and I feel real good. And I discussed in the last couple of weeks just kind of hitting the same spot, the same problem, me. So there's all that. I don't want to get lost in that right now. But one thing I've dealt with in the last 2 years since, almost April 2025 and May of 2025 when I found myself living alone after almost 9 years. Every day, every change of the calendar, every morning I woke up was fear-inducing, panic-inducing, nervousness, anxiety. All those things hit me every day that I woke up, and most of the days I wake up now. That is the baseline. Oh, no, it's another day. Oh, no, it's another day. I actually love going to bed. Who doesn't love a good sleep? But I love going to bed because that contains a little more promise, a little more hope. Tomorrow will get better. Tomorrow we'll figure it out. Tomorrow the job opportunity will come through. Some money will find its way for me. I'll find my purpose, whatever it might be. Tomorrow never knows. Let's just quote Oasis titles and Beatle titles here today. But every morning I wake up and there is just a base level of anxiety. The calendar switches, and it's one more day closer to the rent I have to come up with that I struggle to come up with. One more day without the big job that I don't have or the payday I don't have. One more day of just, oh man, I'm treading water. I haven't figured out who I am. And that's maybe letting other people down, and that's maybe affecting other people. Most importantly, me. It's one more day to not get it right. One more day to not be on sure-footed ground. One more day to wonder, did I make the right decisions? And I'm not just talking about yesterday, last week, last month, or this year. I'm talking, did I make the right decision to come to Los Angeles 28 years ago this week, August 15th, 1998? Moved in here. Not here. Moved here. Was that a mistake? Was it a mistake not to, become some middle manager that works his way up? Which, by the way, it's good. That's a good path for some folks. But should I have done that in 1996? Should I not have taken that job at the radio station? That's what goes through my head almost every day. And I'm sure those kind of things go through your head every day. And then time moves on. It's crazy to me. We're talking about 2026. And quite frankly, already making plans for 2027. Star Wars Celebration, new Star Wars movies. It's mostly Star Wars, I guess. That's crazy. That's crazy. 2027, the year of our Lord. Oh, my God. But every day that calendar flips. Thinking more of that clock and Groundhog Day. And every day I wake up not appreciating where I am, not accepting where I am. I have tried to change that and have started to become successful in doing so. My living situation has been in flux since May of 2025. Every month has been outside, I'll say, of a couple months where some things were going a little better and trending upward. But really every month, because even then that wasn't something that I knew was long-term in those situations. Every month has been like, is this month my life changes drastically? And I used to say, is this the month I'm homeless? Is this the month I have to get rid of everything, including the studio, and go live in a closet at some friend's house? Live in a garage, live under a car, under a rock, under a bridge, every month. And then even when there was things being handled, I have done work and continue to do work. I do get money coming in, and I do get sometimes miraculous support and help, and I'm blessed by all of that, and blessed to have you all here watching and hanging out with me here on these shows and yelling and screaming with me on the blathering. But even those months where it was kind of good, I still had the feeling, the anxiety, the sound, that just the drumming in your head of none of this is permanent. None of this is where you need to be. None of this is what you planned for, and none of this meets the standards that maybe you want to keep for yourself as a professional, as a creative, as a person, as a human, as a functional adult. Every day it's been in my head. But there's been those days, and there's been those moments where it's been okay, and I haven't appreciated those. I haven't appreciated them because every morning when I wake up and that calendar flips down, I'm not thinking about that day. I'm thinking about every other thing in the future. And we should. And perhaps one of my traits that I want to improve is more forward thinking. But that's what I'm talking. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the ability to be present, be here now, and accept where you are. Did you come from somewhere and you're wondering if you should go back? Maybe, but you're here now. Do you want to go somewhere? Do you have big dreams? Okay, but that starts right here. The easiest example I'll give of what that has cost me is I pay. I'll just say the money. We're all paying it. I pay about $131 a month for internet, which is insane because it doesn't really work. I'm even mostly now strapped in with a 100-foot Ethernet cable. And if you watch my streams, you can still see sometimes where I go a little fuzzy. Los Angeles internet. $131 a month. Scrape by. Usually comes out of Patreon money. Sometimes I think I can write that off. Sometimes I don't know if my guy does write it off. But back in May or June of 2025, I thought, I need to cut some costs back, clearly. Maybe we'll go down to the Netflix with ads. Really take away my luxury. The idea of saving money on the internet came in, and there was an offer because they do have fiber in my area. The only good thing about Texas, I hear, Taffeta tells me, the only good thing about Texas is they had fiber everywhere. One of the only good things. They do have brisket that Greg Abbott can't really chop. And back in like June of 25, I thought I should probably switch because there was an offer. There was a sign-up offer, and it was going to be cheaper. But I kept thinking to myself, I can't. I'm not going to live here. I can't. I haven't figured out my life. I can't. I don't have the job I need. I can't. I don't have the money I need. I can't because I'm not here right now. Over a year later, I'm still here. And I've spent way too much money on an internet service that kind of works. As long as I accept stepping over a 100-foot cable in 3 rooms in a hallway. Franny's accepted it. I kind of accepted it. If I had made the decision to accept where I am and not worry about losing things, but instead got into the mindset of fighting for things or being where I am and making plans that would help the future, I think I'd be in a better spot. Yes, I'm sure they would have raised the price again, by the way. I'm sure they were going to be like $40 a month to start off. I'm sure the fine print would have nailed me. But I think I would have saved money overall and had a better internet service. Here's the point. We're not just talking about internet. I have started to do a better job, and this is what I hope you can do with me. 2, accepting and realizing where you are, the good, the bad, and all of it. Because not only will that help you plan for a better future where you know where you actually are and you're not stuck in the past, you're not afraid of the future, but I also think you'll enjoy life a little more. I have been, especially in 2025, tense like this. I've been tense all that panic I've been trying to describe, all the anxiety I wake up with. I've been like this, been like this. And even when I enjoy things and there's been good moments, when I leave those moments or the moments or the day past, I don't take any of that energy with me. And sometimes I just feel like I've made great strides in improving myself. I like where I am right now. We have a long way to go. But I feel as though I've really missed out on a lot of the things that have been going good. I've really missed out on the things I have experienced. Because I'm not right where I am. I have been working to release the tension. Release the tension. I don't know if I'll stay in this house. I don't know if it's smart for me to. It's too expensive to stay. It's too expensive to move. I don't know. But one change I made a couple months ago is I had some space in my office, or an office space in my house, a third bedroom. That's about the size of this table, by the way. But it wasn't mine. It wasn't my space before. But then, because I'm here alone, unless you count a chihuahua and the cats in the backyard and the skunks, the opossums, squirrels, blue jays, and crows that I also have in my house on the outside, it was mine to do something with. I kept it, because of the emotions probably early on, I kept the door closed. I kept it empty. And I'd go in there and think, should I do something with this? And I'd tell myself, no, you're not going to be here. No, you don't deserve to be here. You don't deserve to be on solid ground. You don't deserve anything nice. You don't deserve the job that would keep you here. You don't deserve to put anything here because you don't deserve anything in the first place. A while ago, I went into that space and I claimed part of it. And then about a week later, I claimed another part of it. Hung some stuff in there, put some storage stuff, some items where I could, collect all my baseball cards and stuff from my ASMR channel and just have a workspace with it. And it felt good. And it felt good. And for the first time, as I discussed it with my therapist, I wasn't worried about if I will or if I won't stay here. It wasn't anything about anxiety. It wasn't anything about next week. It was about a deep breath and knowing and accepting where I am now. You're here. I'm here. It felt good to let that stress go. And then I could start seeing the future a little more clearly. And I felt, I love taking little things in my life and turning them here into something that we all can maybe gather around and maybe learn together from. I do love doing that. I can make a trip to 7-Eleven poignant and purposeful. That's what I like doing, right? But I'm here to tell you that the moment I claimed that space, I looked around and realized I am living a life right now. I'm in transition. I want better things. I want more secure things. But now I know, or I feel, I'm not saying this in an entitled sense, but I feel as though I deserve those things that I want. And now the little things that I experience, I get to enjoy more because I'm right where I need to be. So claim your space, put your feet on the ground, be here now. I'm really going to work for that this week because the second half of every one of my months is when the energy changes. It's been even noticed by some people in my life, professionals and otherwise, professional helpers and otherwise, I should say. The idea that on August 6th, I feel pretty good because I got some money in the bank and rents, 24 days later, and I can just kind of live in this denial of the future while being, stuck a little bit in the past, and I just breathe a little easier. And then by the middle of the month, when the end of that month and the bills due at the end of that month start kind of being reality, that's when I start to lose it. And this is the week where I start to lose it. Every month for the last 2 years. So this week, just like I moved into that space and claimed it for myself, I'm going to claim where I am right now. And we're going to get to the end of that month. We're going to drive strong to the end of the month, right? Please, with me? Come on. Gather around. Hands. I feel like a coach. I may have been watching too much Ted Lasso. Let's do it. On 3, believe. No? Okay. On 3, Richmond? No? Okay. Cool. You're here right now. That's where you need to be. Let's get through the week. Thanks for supporting on Patreon. You get this early. Patreon.com/Napzok. New episode of Pop Rockin' Radio available on Patreon. You get that really early. That's not hitting the airwaves till next week on Hall of Fame Music Radio. Become a channel member. Use the voicemail box. Call in to the Blathering Live. If you can't do it live, I love the voicemails. Become a YouTube channel member, Patreon supporter, and you'll get those as well. All right? Okay, there we go. That's it. Bye-bye.